looking for my coffee. That noise haunts my dreams. If you know, you know. This is also a terrible ruler to measure your knits with. Don't do this. Don't be like me. Good morning. Today is New Year's Eve. So I have taken off of work. I took off of work. I did work all this morning, but you know, that's just like an occupational hazard of what I do. Sometimes I take off and it's gone off again. Sometimes I take off and it doesn't work out like that, and that's okay. Anyway, I am here because I would like to finish my test knit. I'm going to show it to you in all its glory. Hopefully that you can see it. This is the Fidalgo Pullover by Mishi Fraz Knits. And I picked up for the sleeve yesterday on my lunch break, and I nearly knit the entire sleeve. So I just filmed a clip of me fixing a mistake I had in the sleeve. So I figured I would hop on here, film an intro, and let's make a whole vlog about me finishing this sweater New Year's weekend. So my first finish of 2026 should be this pullover. You know when someone asks something that they really should have just like thought about for a second? That's what's going on over here. So I've determined I want to add a couple extra rows to the pattern part of this, and then I'm going to start the cuff. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll probably do a time lapse of it because why not? And once I finish this, I will pick up immediately for the other sleeve because I absolutely hate picking up stitches. And while we're here, let's measure the body. I think the instructions say to go to 10.5 inches. That is never going to work for me. I'll probably go to 12. But let's measure this and see where we're at. I think just by eyeballing it, we're about at 8 inches. So let me go grab a ruler. We'll do that. And then I'll switch to a montage of me knitting away on the sleeve, hopefully finishing the first sleeve and then picking up stitches for the second sleeve. I don't really do these vlogs, so that's the plan right now. And let's get to it. The ruler says 8.5. The ruler says 8.5. Okay, so I'm gonna knit probably 4 more inches on the body. But first I'm gonna knit the other sleeve because I don't like picking up stitches, and I might as well. So other things that I have to do on my long weekend, we'll call it a 4-day weekend at this point because it's afternoon and I worked all morning. My 4-day weekend, I would like to clean my house because it's gross. I need to tidy up my office because as you can see, there is shit everywhere. I would like to, well, I would not like to, but I need to make some bread. We're gonna have French onion soup. I'm stalling. Let me knit this sleeve. Here is my Fidalgo sweater. I picked up this sleeve yesterday and I just knit on it last night, and then I saw, I don't know if I can really get a good, give me a sec. Let me see if I can focus in on that. Do we see this? Do we see that? Oh my gosh, I've made it worse. Anyway, right here is a purl where it should be a knit. And it's driving me absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna drop it back. I'm gonna just rip that line all the way down and I'll ladder back up. unlocked. Get out of my way, chair. And I am pretty happy with this length, I think. It's like a very good length for it. I am going to block it widthwise, but I don't think it's going to shrink that significantly. So I would probably add about 4 more rounds of pattern and then I'll start the cuff. But yeah, it fits really nicely and I don't see any other purl mistakes, which is what I'm looking for right now. I should have mostly uninterrupted knitting time. I have to make some bread today, and I don't know how long into the night that we'll have because, like I said, today is New Year's Eve, and that means there will be fireworks, and that's something that my dog is very sensitive to. So as she's gotten older, we've decided we will no longer be drugging her in a way that makes her drowsy because she has a really hard time coming out of the states. And instead, what I do to calm her down is I drive her around. Her coping mechanism with anxiety is to dig, and we have 80-plus-year-old oak wood floors, and I can't have her digging in them. That's just not acceptable. So I drive her around for hours and hours and hours and hours until the fireworks stop. It's just something that I know is going to happen. And as soon as those fireworks start, we get in the car and we drive until they're over. And that generally happens between 8 to 9 until like 1 or 2 in the morning. So it's going to be a long night for me. And unfortunately, I will be the one driving, so I won't have time to knit. But where I'm at with this is I am knitting on the sleeve. I'm on the cuff. And I think I've got about 1.5 inches to go. I'm trying to knit these to 2.25 inches, I believe. And maybe you've seen clips previously, or you'll see clips after this that I have filmed previously. One of me fixing a mistake that I made where a purl stitch should have been a knit stitch, and one of me just, knitting away and transitioning into the cuff from the sleeve, finishing off the sleeve pattern and transitioning into the cuff. So my goal for today is really just to finish this sleeve and pick up the next sleeve. But if I'm being realistic, I would love to not only do that, but also to complete at least 6 decreases, because that is the bulk of the sleeve for my size. I'm knitting size 5. And it means that I could probably finish the other sleeve tomorrow. But I don't know how today's going to go. I don't know how much I really can get done. I pretty much knit this entire sleeve yesterday. I got through, I believe, I got through way more than that. I think there's 16 decreases, and I got through, I don't know, 12 or 13 of them yesterday. And I mean, it would be amazing if I could replicate that, but I did have like 7 hours of knitting that I did after work. I knit until almost midnight, so that checks out. And I don't think I'm going to get that today. It is 3:30.
I have taken my dog for a walk. I have eaten. I have gone to the gym. I have showered. So I'm hoping to get at least 4 hours of uninterrupted knitting time, but we'll see. Hi. Okay. So I just dropped it, but I have finished the cuff and I have just picked up stitches for the second sleeve. Which is the hardest part of any project for me, is picking up stitches. I don't know why I hate it so much. It really doesn't take that much time, even though I work it up in my head that it's going to take a million years. It doesn't. It never does. And so now I'm going to go to my couch and I'm going to go watch the next couple episodes of Culinary Class Wars on Netflix, because that came out on Tuesday and I want to see what omakase, Auntie Omakase #1 has chosen. Is it the white or the black spoons? We'll never know. Actually, we'll know as soon as I go into my living room. And I'm going to knit away on this, and then it's been about 40 minutes since we last spoke. So that didn't take very long at all. Hopefully I can get through a couple decreases before we go on our nightly run. And around 5, I'm going to start making the bread, because it should have enough time, and then I'll be able to do my stretch and folds before we gotta go run the streets. It is 8:30 and my loaf of bread is complete. So now I'm just gonna stick a little whatever this thing is over the top of it, and I will let it sit out on the counter until I go to sleep.
Good morning, pretty people, and Happy New Year. Last night was rough, as expected, but I got a ton more knitting time than I expected to get. So she didn't really start freaking out until like 10:30, maybe even a little bit after that. So here's what I got so far. I got through, I think, 11 of the 16 decreases. So I ran out of yarn. I stopped knitting when I ran out of yarn. I'm going to cake up 2 more skeins of the yarn I have. And I have to clean today. So my goal is to get my house clean and then sit and knit as much as I can. So I greatly exceeded my goal yesterday. My goal today is just to get this sleeve finished and to get it rejoined, get the yarn rejoined on the body. So I have no idea what's going on in that room. Nala is just, I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'm gonna start cleaning, and I'll check back in soon.
Hi. Okay, so I've done absolutely no cleaning. I've tidied up a little bit, but that's the extent of it. I have completely finished all of the decreases and pattern part of the sleeve. There's so much dog hair on this, it's insane. So I just grabbed my smaller needles and I'm going to sit here for the next 5 minutes and I'm going to start the ribbing on this sleeve. Then I have to go clean my kitchen a little bit and start dinner because we're having French onion soup and that takes a really long time to chop up all the ingredients and get things roasting. So I need to at least dedicate a couple hours to getting those onions cooked down properly. So I definitely won't be hitting my goal today of finishing the sleeves. But unfortunately, I'm not going to finish right now because I have to go make dinner. But it's 1:14, so I would say that I made pretty good time. I felt like I was on my phone a lot and not really knitting, so I probably could have had this finished by now, but it's my day off, so I'm taking it easy. All right, I will check back in when my sleeve is done and I'm working in the body, in the round in the body again. So, okay, bye. Hello and welcome to another extremely dreary day in Baltimore County, Maryland. It is the 2nd of January and I did finish my sleeve yesterday. So let's get this situated. The body was here and I added, I don't know, what is that, 1.25 inches. So I'm gonna add probably another inch to it and then start the ribbing. Mr. Craft is really sick. So I don't know what today's gonna bring, but hopefully I don't catch it. And hopefully I get a lot of knitting time on this. Realistically, I could finish it today. But it really just depends on what's going on. So I'm going to finish this either today or tomorrow. So I was able to finish my sweater last night. I did not block it. I just went to bed. I seem to have caught whatever Mr. Craft has. And this sweater is filled with lint. But I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to weave in the ends and then I'm going to block it. And then hopefully tomorrow I will feel well enough to show you how it fits. But I did get the knitting done. Mr. Craft had a fever of like 103 Fahrenheit yesterday, which is almost 40 degrees Celsius, 39.5, I think. Quick math, but don't quote me on that. Actually Google that. It was pretty scary, and I don't want that kind of fever. So We'll see. But here she is, unblocked. It's been about a week since I filmed anything. Actually, it's been exactly a week since I filmed anything because I was just so sick. Um, I'm still stuffy, so if you hear my voice cracking or me sniffling, that's why. I'm still trying to get over this. It was a really bad sickness, but let's talk about this pullover. So how it starts off is you cast on for the neckband and you work both directions using a provisional cast on. So cast on, work one direction, pick up the stitches that you cast on with your provisional and work the other direction. And then you start working the back panel, you pick up for the left and right fronts, then join in the round as you would any other sweater. And the gauge on this is relatively large, so it goes quite quickly. I used a 4.5 millimeter needle, I believe. If I'm incorrect, it will be on the screen for the vast majority of the sweater, and a 3.75 millimeter for the ribbing. I remarked about this yarn being really strange to work with a couple times throughout the process, and I don't dislike it now that it's washed. What I will say is it is a lint magnet. If you are anywhere in the vicinity of lint or hair, it's going to like vacuum it to itself. So while I do love the way that this looks, and I think the color is absolutely stunning, I don't necessarily know if I would work with this yarn again. Anyway, so love it. Think it's great. Think it looks incredible, but it's not the softest wool I've ever used. It does not bother me at all. Like I'm not wearing anything under this and I don't have any issues. It's not itchy. But I'm going to have to carry around a lint roller whenever I wear this. Modifications that I made. I lengthened the arm by 4 rows, and that's it, which is kind of crazy because generally with patterns, I have to lengthen it a couple inches, and in this case, it was only 4 rows. I did pick up 4 extra stitches around the arm because that's just what I thought looked nice for my size. And I think that was a great idea. I did not decrease those extra stitches out. I don't think that it looks like these cuffs are too wide, but I'm not a huge fan of a super tight cuff anyway. I made the size 5, if I didn't say that already. And for the length, I added about an extra inch than what was called for in the pattern. But when I blocked it out a little bit more aggressively, so I lost that inch. Altogether, though, it is the correct length that the pattern calls for. So finished length is right on. My gauge was slightly off, so it came out a little bit smaller than the pattern recommended. But for me, I think that this is a perfect amount of ease. I would say that that's 6.5 maybe inches of ease on me. So I think that this fits. It's lovely. I was looking back through the pattern and realized that while I thought I did all of the finishing as what was recommended in the pattern, I just did an Italian bind off. I did not do a tubular, so I didn't do those 2 setup rows. So that's also different. But overall, I love this. I love the Fidalgo line. If you heard me talk about the Fidalgo cardigan earlier last year, I thought it was great because of how easy it is, the integrated button band, and I feel the same way about this. It's like you knit the sweater and then you're done. You don't have to do any finishing really, because I mean this is done at the same time as you knit the rest of the sweater. So you don't have to change needle sizes. It's done on the same needle size, and I honestly think that this looks really nice. I could have blocked it so that you get the ribbing, but I like the way that this looked. I thought it looked a little bit more commercial than if I would have pulled it apart and you would have saw the ribbing. So overall, I'm really happy with this. I'm going to try and get some B-roll outside for you. And there won't be any podcast episode this week. I'm still recovering. I'm still not feeling 100%. So I honestly didn't knit at all last week. So we don't really have anything to show, but it will be the week after I will film. So please don't think that there's another video coming out this week. There won't be. And I'm gonna go try and show you what this looks like in natural light, because the sun is actually out in Maryland for the first time in like a month. So let's go do that.